Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode number, Kevin, this is the second time we're doing this week. So I would like to say it's episode number 7.5 because we have Taser on this morning.
2.0.
7.5, 2.0, episode number 8. Welcome to the dealership Applewood Chevrolet's podcast. We're the soon-to-be most downloaded automotive podcast in Canada and obviously the number one volume GM dealership in the country. We sell a lot of cars. We love our customers. Taser, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We brought you back.
I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back at this dealership.
Wow. And all your loyal customers, did you finish re-signing and resorting those lists so we can send this to them?
Most of them. I have so many.
Most of them. What have you been doing?
Selling cars. Trying to sell cars.
Okay, so Taser, you left for a little bit, and this is, I feel like it's an easy talking point to start with. You came back to Applewood Chevrolet, and you've obviously been selling cars for quite a while. What is it about our dealership that you think you came back for? Don't tell me it was just the product. What do we do well, people-wise? Why is this a good place to work? I want to hear from you.
Well, the way the employer treats you is way different.
At Applewood.
Everyone's family here. That's how you're treated. I mean, the welcome I got when I came back was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
So it immediately felt like it was the right decision.
Yeah. And the hours too. I have more family time.
Yeah.
You know.
That's awesome. And
I get to see Kevin all the time.
Yeah. That's the most important part of you coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of energy. They're just trying not to hug. That's what it is.
Yeah. There's no hugging. A lot of other stuff going on, but no hugging.
So Taser, you have, even though you're back, you're like a long-standing, you're not anti-GM, but you definitely love your off-brand models. Like you have a Jeep, you have a BMW, you had a Mercedes.
A few Mercedes.
What do you? So tell us about the Jeep, because you're currently trying to sell that car. What do you like about the Jeep so much? Why did you choose to buy a Jeep, although you work at a GM dealership?
Well, mainly that you can go over anything you want. That's the only reason.
Like over curbs?
Curbs, anything. Nothing stops you. But it's not that I'm more for off-brands, because I've also owned a Camaro, 2 Cadillacs.
That's true. So you just like cars.
I just like switching.
Yeah.
And I think the quality for GM is really good.
Yeah.
And you can tell a big difference between 2014s and the 2018s, 2020s. The quality has changed a lot.
So hold on, stop there for a second. So you have a lot of cars. So we were talking about this a little bit before we started hitting record. But you mentioned that obviously the new Cadillacs, like the 21 XT5s. Tell us about the difference in quality.
So the ride-wise.
Yeah. Because
I also had the XT5. I find ride-wise it's the same. Quality is the same, but the finishing.
Yeah.
I think we were lacking that before. Now Cadillac is looking at the more detailed finishing. You feel the difference from before.
Yeah.
Even simple, the covers for the speakers.
Yeah.
Instead of having just the black plastic pieces, now it's the silver brushed.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a faux brushed aluminum grill. Yeah.
So that's the main thing that I've been noticing.
Yeah.
The finishing, touching.
It looks a lot cleaner. Is what you're saying. Nice and washed.
Yeah. Nice and washed.
Nice and washed. Kevin, you've had a little bit of a foray in the Dodge world, as we know. So talking about Taser's Camaro, you had a Charger at one point.
Yep.
Do you think GM will reign supreme with their electric muscle cars? I don't want to talk about the current Camaros.
I don't know. I would think they probably would, just because of how advanced we all know they are in the electric field of the automotive. I haven't seen anything. You hear speculation, but there's not even renderings, right? But yeah, you know what? Yeah, you look at any electric car right now; they go fast.
Yeah.
Okay. They have instant power, instant torque. It's continuous and instant. Yeah. Do I think they're gonna have like a super Camaro of some sort? Yeah, of course, or a Corvette, C8, C9, whatever it's gonna be called. It will be for sure.
Do you think that? I guess electric cars will never be manual.
No, because it's one gear.
So are there even paddle shifters in electric cars?
There are.
Or are they just, how do they work that?
That's just it's an illusion. It does work on the revolutions per minute.
Yeah, probably.
But it's one motor. Think of an elevator shaft.
Yeah.
It's got a motor up at the top, and it just pulls that cable up and lets that cable down.
So boring.
That's what's in an electric car.
Yeah.
All the other stuff that power it and all the gadgets and the Wi-Fi and the communication and the computers and
the Wi-Fi and the RAM and the
and the
and
RAM
the motherboard.
and the motherboards all over the place. But it's just an electric motor, just like an elevator. How long's an elevator been around for?
A long time.
They don't break. They just service them and get them going again, right? And that's the thing. It's how much voltage do you want to put into it to make it go faster? That's what it's going to come down to. How many volts your car got? I got 13,000 watts.
and it charges in 15 minutes. How fast?
Yeah, yours charged in half an hour. I'll blow you in the quarter mile, charge it, and then keep going.
It's gonna be a funny conversation. I remember I was working construction.
When people soup up a car, throw in some turbos or superchargers. Like, yeah, so we can pull my batteries in out, putting in 26,000 volts. That's what souping up a car will be, or modifying a car is, getting the voltage up, right? Get that motor to spin faster. That's what it does. That's all it is.
Yeah,
right?
that'll be a weird time for drag racing. I remember when I used to do construction.
We won't have mechanics anymore. We'll have just geek squad.
Geek squad. Yeah, pull up at the drive-thru at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And they're gonna overcharge you for a software update for your car.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're gonna reboot it.
Swap out my RAM.
Yeah, you could probably use a little bit more RAM. We'll help you put that in. I remember I used to do construction. We were working at the Chelsea Delta Hotel back in Toronto, and they were fixing one of the elevators one time. I remember having a conversation with one of the elevator guys. Apparently, that's like one of the best unions, like trades unions to be in.
Oh yeah.
If you're an elevator like repair guy, because apparently they like it's like a cult. Like it's so hard to get in, but once you're in,
There's only a few companies.
Yeah,
like the Tyson Crew
that are licensed.
And then, I don't know. There's a couple other ones. There's only like 3 or 4. Like Eaton is another one. There's only 3 or 4 companies that build elevators or are certified in Canada to build and service elevators. So they have the market corner. Yeah, and it is. Well, you got to imagine, you're playing with people's lives. You
for
have to
sure.
be really trained to fix that, right? That's, especially downtown tower, 40 stories, 50 stories.
Yeah, you don't want that
I
snap.
forgot to put that wire in.
Yeah, interesting times. It's you guys seen those parking garages over in Asia? Speaking of that, with elevators, that will like rotate your car. Kevin, have you seen those?
Yeah, they were first in South America. Just so you know,
were they?
It wasn't in Asia.
Okay, hold on. Parking garages with elevator. We're gonna check that out. I wonder what Google image will give us. But you know what I'm talking about? It's like it's rotating garages. I don't even know.
You don't need it once cars are autonomous. Just get out and tell it to go park.
That's true. Yeah. So these are all over.
Yeah, that's in New York.
Really?
They have stuff like that in New York already.
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Vertical parking, man.
Like that I've seen in New York. Like some of these other images. They're such an eyesore, though.
They are pretty gross.
Yeah.
Imagine brutal. 10 years from now, them rusting.
That's so gross.
Mm-hmm.
They won't rust. They galvanize.
Well, have you seen the bridges we have?
Get somebody to paint them. You know how old those bridges are, though?
Yeah, probably.
Those bridges are 100 years old, 80 years old. They didn't have the technology to galvanize, paint with the paints that we use today. Anyway, let's this. Can we go on to another topic? Because this one's really ugly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's the one that I pulled up. So this is talking about those electric scooters. Do you guys remember, or have you been to Southern California and seen those electric scooters all around?
Yeah. So there's a guy in Milton.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got one that's like a unicycle. It's one wheel, big wheel. Have you seen that?
Like the briefcase one, right?
He's got a backpack with lights on it, and he just stands on. He's got a platform like a pedal on one side of the wheel and another on the other, and this thing flies. He flies. You've seen him?
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's got a helmet and he's got a backpack with light. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I always want to try to stop him. I just find out what it is.
Milton Electric. Do you think he's got like an Instagram account?
I have no idea.
I know what you're talking about though. Like
it's one wheel.
Just put one wheel electric scooter.
Yeah. one-wheel scooter.
Or one-wheel set.
Yeah,
There it is. That's it right there.
One of these
yeah.
things, yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, I've seen people. I
And
saw,
they go fast.
Yeah, I saw a guy downtown one day, and he was like weaving around all
Air wheel XB, single wheel electric scooter.
I'm sure there's a ton of them, but obviously this thing looks super. I guess scooter's not really any less dangerous, to be quite honest.
There's a picture there with two guys. See where we are right there.
Moving around campus somewhere.
Yeah.
Best one-wheel scooters in 2021. What a niche search,
My
huh?
Pro scooter.
So anyways, these scooters are going to be coming to, they were supposed to actually have started coming to Ottawa. I think it was last year or the year
Which
before.
ones? These ones? Or
So Bird and Lime have the two-wheeled scooters all over Southern California.
they're electric.
Yeah, electric scooters. Have you guys seen those? Have you ever been?
I've seen some.
Literally, I remember this was probably like all of 3 years ago. Like we went on a road trip to Los Angeles, and every corner, I swear to God, it's like you're tripping over scooters. It's like you guys ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon? Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
And you could just drop a bunch of, workers or objects or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like somebody just kept copy pasting scooters, and they're literally everywhere. Like you'll trip over them.
And they're like rentals?
Yeah, basically you just tap your phone or you tap your credit card on it, and to start it, it's like 25 cents, and then it's like 10 cents a mile. And they're everywhere. And so it's funny, they have a whole economy where people will pick them up overnight and they'll charge them, and they get paid to charge these scooters. So you'll see people like literally they have like two scooters.
What's the range on these things?
I have no idea what the range is, but they're designed for the last mile, right? So the problem with transit, public transit, is it gets you pretty close to where you need to be, but there's always like a 10 or 15 minute walk, right? So 10 minutes to get to the transit line, 10 minutes once you get off of it. The idea of these scooters is to shave down those last 20 minutes, right?
How much is to buy one? That's the key.
I think they're pretty expensive, actually.
Yeah, you got to get one that folds into your briefcase.
Lime scooter.
But they're pretty small if you think about it.
No, dude, they're huge. They're huge.
No, compared to these scooters. I thought the single wheel.
Electric scooter rentals. I remember seeing. I don't know if they're still gonna have them for sale, but I remember 3 years ago. Yeah, you could buy one outright, but it was like $600
That's not bad.
for an electric scooter.
See the one at the top? If you go back,
You want it to be free?
Well, okay, but hold on a sec. You can rent it,
Best Buy, $10.99.
but you can rent it for
$1,100.
like basically 30 cents a trip.
Yeah.
You
There
know.
you go.
But like, I love the idea of just being able to rent it.
COVID, somebody touching it.
So the
That's okay,
single,
have wipes.
if you rent the single wheel, if they have that,
I don't think they
there's
would
no
do
COVID.
that. I don't think they would do that.
why not?
A lot of people be doing face plants.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's so funny because I remember it was.
Have you ever been on the two-wheel, like the hoverboards? They call them the hoverboards?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So imagine one wheel. Imagine one wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going very far. I remember it was
Because now, don't you just have to balance yourself this way? You also got to balance yourself
backwards
that way.
to stop. Yeah. Santa Monica, I remember that there's like obviously people getting on them for the first time, and the amount of wipeouts that we were seeing, and people.
On these?
Yeah, people on flip flops like have no obviously day drinking, whatever they were doing, and they get on these scooters and they realize like I think these things can go like 30 something kilometers an hour. Like, that's
30
pretty
kilometers.
fast for a scooter with no
Right
helmet.
there, 30 kilometers an hour top speed.
Oh, there you go.
65 kilometer range, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
to be
it's pretty well. Again, it's just designed for the last
65K.
mile.
honest.
We can come from Milton all the
Yeah.
way here.
But
Me and you on scooters, bud.
But think about that, right? It's just designed for the last.
And we'll
mile.
ride right in the middle of the lane so cars can't get by.
You guys are gonna have like matching orange helmets or something,
We'll have like lights flashing. Behind us, like,
and you're gonna have stickers that say vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, these were supposed to be coming to Ottawa. I think 2 years ago.
You mean the service?
Yeah, like Lime and Bird are the two main companies out of California, and they were bringing it to Ontario to pilot the program. I think Ottawa was picked as a city. Waterloo, of course, was picked as a city, but certain areas and basically these scooters are geo-locked, right? And that's how they control it. So they only operate and they'll only turn on within a certain area. And basically, like if it's not in that area, like the wheel, they add some kind of resistance to it, right? There's some kind of a lock, so it's like it's not even fun. But I remember the problem they were having in California is they were littered all over the sidewalks. People would throw them into the ocean. Like they were very like anti-scooter people, because people would ride them and dip in and out of traffic, right? You can 30 kilometers an hour is pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
So,
it is on something that small.
especially when you factor in like some idiot takes this and they decide it's like a day like today or 2 weeks ago when all of a sudden the weather started becoming nice. There's still snow, there's still puddles, there's still ice on the ground. Listen, all of a sudden you decide you need to brake over one patch of sketchy ice. I don't think
needs a winter tire package.
Rust proofing too.
Yeah, it needs rust proofing and chrome. But anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. So this article talks about.
Is it coming though?
Yeah. They're so this company Joyride basically is from what I understand, they're part of a company that creates a better docking system, because that was a big problem with the infrastructure. Is that they were great, but how do you store them? So that's problem number one. And problem number two was the charging. So you have to have some guy, literally some dude would pull up. I remember seeing this. I'm like,
in trucks.
Are we about to get mugged? It's a GMC like cargo van. The guy opens the door and he tosses all the scooters in. The guy's got like 30 scooters because he's going to go home and charge them, right? So that was a problem that they were having. And then obviously when he brings them back, what do you think he's doing with them? He's made his money as soon as he's charged it. Literally, he's kicking them out of the thing, and he's dumping like a mountain of those 20 scooters.
Yeah.
He's not.
So there was no docking station where they
nothing.
like the rental bikes that have
nothing. So that's the problem that they're looking to solve. No, yeah. So clearly that was a problem. But anyways, this company obviously out of Ontario.
Well, they need a docking station that charges is what they need.
Yeah, and obviously that means people would take it more seriously, because guess what? If you have a docking station you're pulling it out of, same with the green bikes, you have a docking station, you got to put it back in.
Yeah.
Right.
So, geofence and stuff?
I believe so. Yeah. But this company specifically, obviously they're working on that docking station. Kind of cool. They've received a new grant in Ontario to kind of solve that problem. So like you look at Queens Quay, like all along the lakeshore line, you can obviously all over Toronto, you can rent the Go bikes, but they have a wicked, right by the water there, they have the Path.
You ever rented one of those bikes?
Yeah.
I have.
They're pretty awesome.
They're very uncomfortable.
Well, they're not. Yeah. Well. They're not designed for comfort. They're for convenience, right? But anyways, if you had a docking station,
they're not electric though.
No. If you had a docking station right by the water though, that's awesome. Like that bike lane there, right at the exhibition grounds, all the way up to Queens Quay. Like it's such a good ride, and there's two actual lanes. It's not like there's a dotted line.
It actually starts at Parkland.
Yeah,
at the Humber River.
Yeah, and there's 2 lanes once you get farther up, so it's not just like a bike split. There's a dedicated like trail for bikes, which is awesome. So
not everybody follows the rules down there, but anyway.
No, but yeah, but can you
I
imagine?
rode down there. You could ask Kyle those questions.
Yeah, Kyle is our resident expert on biking and vacation. So if you have any biking or vacation questions, Kyle McKenna is definitely the guy to ask. Kevin, would you ride one of these electric scooters?
Yeah, I'd ride it.
Would you? But would you actually ride it like recreationally?
No, I'd ride it if you asked me to ride it.
Just for
you really don't want my opinion on the air.
Fair enough. But honestly, I feel like these are. Great.
I get it.
These are great
like
solutions.
In downtown
you can take it on
core
the
areas and cities. I can see that happening.
I mean, it's better than walking.
It can be annoying though. I don't know.
It's better than walking. It's more fun than walking.
You did that trip to California. You said people were annoyed. They were annoyed that they were left everywhere.
Yeah,
they're also annoyed that people are
garbage.
in and out of traffic with them.
Yeah, you have a group of 5 16-year-olds.
Yeah, and I'd open my door. Oops. Didn't see you.
Yeah, so electric scooters, those are kind of cool. So
if you go to Europe, you've been to Europe.
No.
Okay, so the gas scooters.
Yeah.
Mopeds.
Yeah.
Like you're stopped at a light.
And they're just
all of a sudden, there's 50 in front of you.
Really?
All of a sudden, and then they go, and it's normal. They just weave in out of the cars. The light's red. They come to the front, and then they go. You get to the next light. There's nowhere to be found. Come to a red light. You stop. Then all these other scooters, and it's nonstop. It's just crazy, especially in Italy. Italy.
You should see in Nigeria, they're called Okadas. Okay.
Okay, we gotta fact check you, Taser.
It's check. Put Okadas.
Okadas, Nigeria.
Yeah, they're small bikes. They use them as taxis. These, by the way, they're in hundreds all over. And if you hit one of them by accident, because they don't care, they just come. Yeah. They'll come all in the morning and they'll destroy you. So you always watch for Okadas. You never mess with them.
Wow.
But look how many there are. Hundreds of them.
Yeah, just a fleet of these guys.
Yeah.
Wait, but you're telling...
And they're taxis, basically.
Yeah, taxis, basically.
Get on the back?
I would never get on the back. Look at that.
No, I would never... No, I never used that.
Look at that. How can that be seen? Oh, my goodness.
Do you think that's bad?
That's a thing.
That's terrible. She's holding on. Oh.
Look at the bag of rice they're carrying. Oh, but people use them. It works for them. And it's cheap.
Wow. You only live once. That's awesome.
Or not very long.
So I pulled up the article, Kevin. Remember I was talking the last one, GM Ultium batteries. So Honda and Acura. It was Honda and Acura that are to use the EV technology from GM, which I thought was pretty cool. So we won't go into much detail. But
Honda put $1 billion or $2 billion into the program.
They're going to use our batteries?
Yeah, they're going to share the battery tech, which is pretty awesome. I wanted to pull this up. We'll talk about, let's just talk about test drives.
Yeah, I read this.
I thought this was crazy. And this is obviously different than the one we initially, I remember on the first or the second podcast, we talked about it. So they've busted another theft ring. Is this another one?
These are taking vehicles off people's driveways.
Oh, wow. So this theft ring, they took vehicles off driveways for $4.5 million worth of high-end vehicles.
Yeah, they forced their way into cars and then they reprogram it to start.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about our new vehicles. Says you're freshly back. You got some courses to do. Our 21 vehicles, our keys go to sleep mode once they stop moving for a certain amount of minutes. So you put them at home, they go into total sleep mode, they transmit no signal.
Oh, wow. Because I know the problem is what happens. One guy comes to your door, he has a
or near your house,
machine.
he has a device that picks up the signal from your key and replicates it when he goes to the car, and he opens the car and starts it.
So hold on. So basically, if your GM vehicle's been like not turned on for 20 minutes, it completely.
No, your key.
Yeah.
If it doesn't
when it
move.
stops moving for a bunch of minutes, I forgot what the thing. It just goes into sleep mode. It stops transmitting a signal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty
And
good.
then it gets awakened as soon as you grab it and make it move.
So there's like some kind of an accelerometer or something
Yeah.
that feels the movement.
Yeah.
That's actually smart. Because that's the main problem, I know.
Goes to sleep.
That's pretty awesome.
But they've never been targeting our vehicles anyway. I think there's too much technology in our vehicles when it comes to security and tracking and all that. They don't. Yeah.
Well, OnStar, let's talk about that for a second. Like GM obviously is the OnStar commercials have been around as long as I can remember. But they do a great job in tracking vehicles and basically with the new wireless hotspots, you're always connected.
Well, a big example. Remember the Escalade that was being shipped?
Yeah.
We
had a fraudulent transaction.
Yeah.
And that's how we traced the vehicle.
Yeah, with OnStar?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was being shipped to Africa.
Wow.
It was in the shipping yard already within 12 hours.
Wow. Yeah, so these guys move fast. So anyways, one of the reasons
we got on it, we told them, you don't get it.
Wait, so Taser, you're telling me they were bringing that to South Africa? Or Africa?
Somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
So
the scooters don't cut it.
I read this article. So if you read it, where a lot of these vehicles end up is United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
And in Africa, and the two main ports are Ghana and Nigeria.
Really? Yeah, Taser.
Maybe I was the buyer there. You never know.
Yeah.
I didn't get the Escalade.
Yeah, the Escalade is a hot commodity.
But those are the two main ports, and they even read it. They have a bunch of tagged containers.
Yeah.
That they're waiting for at the ports in Ghana, Nigeria. They know that there's cars in there. So
really?
Canadian government's there.
Actually, Nigerian government is very strict with stolen cars and cars that don't come through legally to pay taxes.
But everybody's strict on stolen cars.
So what happens is they go to Benin, and that's where it's more open.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
And then it goes through Nigeria.
Gotcha.
But if anyone in Nigeria, any cop pulls you over and sees the VIN, the car came from Benin, it wasn't shipped properly, you get arrested and they take the car away.
Yeah. And then the cops sell the car. That's how it works in Nigeria.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah,
no comment.
You can't disclose that. So hey, let's.
That's a nice sign.
This is super ugly. This is why you want to shop at Applewood. We don't have signs like this. We're gonna do a fast little plug for those. You guys can't see. I know the HDMI cable is flickering here, but we actually have a sale coming up this weekend, the 25th to 27th. This is a main talking point for our clients. For those who didn't drive a whole lot last year, you'll be happy to know that there are extremely high trade-in values right now. The demand for electric cars or used vehicles is pretty awesome right now, especially if you found you didn't drive a whole lot. You have less kilometers on your contract. Now is a very, very good time to trade in your vehicle. We do have an event on the 25th to the 27th, so that's Thursday through Saturday, next weekend at Applewood Chevrolet. By all means, come on through. Just for having your car appraised and checking things out, you're going to be entered to win a new barbecue. It's a good one. It's $800 plus taxes. So it's basically like a $1,000 barbecue. It's a pretty awesome deal. But anyways, come on through. There's going to be a link in the description for this episode. So Kevin, can you shed some light? Why are used car values trading so high beyond kind of what I mentioned there?
It's shortage.
Are people in the States buying it up? Because I know that this is we've done a lot of sales. Sometimes customers think it's a gimmick. Is that true that people are buying cars in the States from us?
Oh yeah, we're like the automotive industry here in Canada. Definitely, car with low miles, in decent or good shape. That's what's happening. We're shipping these cars to the United States because the value that we're getting down there is tremendous, which in turn hurts our used car market here. We don't have, and we're trying to step away from it here at Applewood.
Yeah,
we really want these quality cars to sit on our lot so we can actually put them into Canadian retail customers' hands, because we understand that not everybody wants to buy new, and a lot of people prefer to buy a previously enjoyed vehicle.
Yeah,
and we're trying to keep them here as best as we can, but that's why the values are so high, because yes, most people are shipping them right now or exporting them. That's a better word. So there's a lot less of them around.
Yeah.
So the values are going up and up and up.
So basically, if we can get your car in here, get it appraised, there's going to be a very good value. And like Kevin mentioned, there's not a whole lot of selection right now compared to perhaps the volume that we saw maybe 2 years ago at used car lots. So anyways, there's
as new car inventories dwindle, which is happening right now because the shortage of components that manufacturers are getting from overseas.
Semiconductors, glass.
Foam for seats.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. These used car values are going to keep going up because we need something to sell. Dealerships need something to sell. We're not going to sell paper or tomatoes or vegetables. We need to sell some cars. So we need the vehicles.
Yeah, so fair enough. So guys, on 25th, 27th, we have our event. Trade-in values are going to be excellent. We do have quite a few cars in stock right now. The new 21s, we do have quite a few pickup trucks and Cadillac. We're very, very heavy right now. We're prepared to give some awesome deals to our customers. Taser, are you ready to sell a few cars to your clients?
I'm always ready to give a good deal.
Do you have any good words for your clients? What can you tell them? What are you going to do special for them the next couple of days if they buy a car from you?
Well, you'll always be treated like family here, and we'll take care of you.
Good. I like it.
Right, Kevin?
Yep.
So we do good services.
I like it. So Taser, I want to just focus back on you for a little bit. So selling cars, what do you find is the biggest when somebody comes through the dealership? What do you find the biggest question that they have for you? The most commonly asked question that they don't seem to, I don't want to say haven't educated themselves on, but you help them with, that they need your assistance with.
I think maybe the biggest thing that I find with customers is they try to get answers from friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of times those friends, they don't know much about the cars, but they give them advices that are wrong. And they try to they try to force us into feeling that it's the right answer, but it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, a sales guy knows more because we do this every day and we deal with cars every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you having that friend that tells you, oh, you might have a cold, but he's not a doctor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the biggest problem I find. Take our advices. We're honest. We try to be as helpful as possible. And price is not always the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's finding the car they want. And a lot of customers feel that way too.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're spending $10 more or $20 more, but you're driving something that's going to make you happy, people end up spending it.
I think a lot of the conversation too, people forget that a lot of times you paid forward. Like when you buy something premium or you choose to perhaps get a car that's a little bit more equipped than maybe you planned on, generally speaking, if we recommend that, it's probably because you're going to pay it forward, right?
Yeah.
You're going to pay more now, but perhaps there's going to be a better residual on the car for a lease. It's going to be worth more. You're going to be able to have a cleaner brake when you get out, or it's just going to have a better resale value, like especially for some of these Cadillacs or some of these trucks, right?
I'll tell you something. Once a customer told me he was looking at a Lincoln and an Escalade.
Okay. Navigator.
There was $200 difference in payments, and he chose to buy ours. And I asked him why. He's like, paying that $1,000, I'm paying it both ways. It's a $200 extra that's making me happy that I'm driving this car versus I'm just driving the other one.
Yeah.
So that's what you should always think about. I'm in the same situation now too. It's whether I'm spending this amount both ways do I want to be happier that I'm spending the amount and spend $100 more or not? Don't look at the payment because the payment's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Be happy.
Yeah. What do you think about trade-in values, used cars? What advice do you have for customers that
trade values?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't planning to sell my Jeep.
Yeah.
So yesterday I wasn't planning to sell my Jeep.
Yeah.
Today I'm planning to sell it.
And you work in the industry.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it on the auction.
Yeah. Because the trade value is higher than
trade value is crazy.
Than you expected.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time. It's funny. We were in a call yesterday and we were talking about year-over-year performance, and it was pretty difficult to try and put a benchmark on what the results were last year, just in expectations for inventory and levels. We were talking about trader and pricing plans, and it was strange. But I think overall, what we're seeing is a lot of consumers are coming in. Obviously, we're getting them great deals, but we're finding that, again, there's more money in their cars than maybe they expected. So with everything going on right now, especially like I mentioned, lower kilometers, you could be in a pretty good spot. So that's about it. That's all I have today. This has been a half episode. Kevin, what do you think?
It's been a good episode.
Yeah, nice and concise.
Well, we have half the guests.
I like it. So guys, don't forget, obviously this weekend we have our sale coming up.
Not this weekend, next week.
Next weekend, the 25th through the 27th. We do have a couple banners on the screen here you guys can't see, but we do have some awesome truck deals as well as those Cadillac XT5 promos. We do have a ton of inventory. That's pretty much it. Everybody have a great weekend. I think finally we're getting to some warmer weather. Yeah. This is the last cold.
It was a little cold this morning.
It was cold.
This is the last of it, though.
And
tomorrow it's 14 degrees.
14 degrees?
Yeah, sunny.
Oh, with the sun out?
Yeah. Sell lots of cars. Best time to come out and look at cars.
Oof. That's right. The pool's not open yet. It's a little too cold, too early for yard work. You got nothing to do. Come to the dealership.
Come buy a car.
There you go. Alrighty. Well, thanks so much, folks. It's been episode number 8. We look forward to seeing you next time. And thanks so much for listening. Take care.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
Use the